A very warm welcome to everyone. Hi, this is Raju Srivastava, and let me take this opportunity to welcome you all to this webinar. And I'm so excited to host this webinar today because I really feel this is one of the webinar where I'm going to add a lot of value by not only sharing some very important information with you about the career coaching. Everything about A to Z is something that I intend to discuss with you today in this short webinar, but to the point webinar. But also at the same time, I'm going to be giving you a beautiful opportunity which will help you to build up your business and start making money from the first week itself. And I know it's a tall claim, but I still would like to live with this claim. And maybe towards the end of it, I would ask you, did you find the value into this webinar or not? So my first request to you would be that you should stay till the end. If you are starting with me now, you should stay till the end with me. That's number one. Number two, if you want to attain a full screen, there's a red button on the right hand side of the screen. There are three red dots. If you can just press that, you will get the full screen, right? Any kind of a technical difficulties, if you face, what you can do, you can press the reconnect button on the top and you would be able to join in again, and perhaps 99% that problem will be sorted out. Or else, if still that problem is not sorted out, you can always use the alternate device, or maybe you can choose the browser, and then you would be in a position to actually get to the webinar. So what are we here for? As a campaign, become a career coach for just rupees 4,999 plus GST and start earning within a week. So that's the claim that I am doing, and that is what exactly is also an opportunity that you would discover by the end of the webinar. What is that you require to be a successful career coach? That's the first thing. There are four things that you require. Career coaching is a 5-step process, so we need to understand what is that process which is there involved to do a right career coaching. That's number one. Number two, knowledge of theories related to career coaching. Number three is the psychometric test report. You need to have a tool on the basis of which you can actually counsel the student or coach the student. And fourth is time-tested sales funnel to make 50K per month. You may acquire knowledge and you may become a very good counselor, but at the same time, if at all you don't know how to sell and how to acquire customer, it doesn't make much sense, isn't it? I would like to understand, are you excited about it? Please comment excited onto the chat window. All right, so let's get started. And so let me talk about the Mindtrees first, because since I'm going to be speaking to you, so it's very important for you to understand what's the company and who are we as a company and who are we as an individual. So let me help you to understand about the Mindtrees first. We were incorporated formally in 2015 July, but prior to that we were working almost for 2 years. So if you really look at it, it's been 8.5, 9 years that we've been into this domain. We have already trained 10,000 kids plus 1,000 plus adults, 1,000 plus business partners. We already have it who are doing a career coaching, and they're also promoting the other products as well. There's a 10x growth during the lockdown, and that is most important when the people and the businesses were suffering. In fact, we are glad to share with you that we could experience our 10x growth into our space, and not only us, but even our business partners could experience that, right? We have a 40 plus products and programs right now. I personally, in fact, have done 700 plus career coaching, for the people, for the students, that is onto the one-to-one basis. And there are a lot of mass career counseling that I've done it. I'm not counting that, but there's 700 plus career counseling that we have already done it, right? Let me also share my accreditations with you. I'm certified in Neuro-linguistic programming, UK, certified in midbrain activation, Singapore, certified in psychometric and DMIT, Singapore, memory master, speed reading trainer. I'm an international business coach, student empowerment coach, and I'm a personality development coach. So this is what exactly is the space and the domain that I am into. And I've been into these domains for almost about 8 years now, right? Yashoka Jalhotra is a life coach. She's an NLP and Law of Attraction trainer, best-selling author, ranked among top 15 women entrepreneur in Delhi and NCR, founder of Quantum of Happiness and co-founder of Mindtrees.com. See, to be into the business, I think what's important is that we should be solving one big problem of the society, and that's what exactly we all understand today. So therefore, what is that problem that we are going to be solving for the society is the helping the people to bring from confusion state to clarity stage. When we talk about a career coaching profession in India, we need 1.4 million career counselors to cater to 315 million students to maintain a global counselor to student ratio. As per India today, we only have 10,000 professionally trained career counselors. Career counseling is 5,000 crores industry in India today. Now, what is the demand for the profession? So let's understand that, in fact, for anything that you really want to understand what the demand is, you don't really have to go to McKinsey. What you can simply do is go to google.com and just type Google trend, and you can type a particular word. And if you type a particular word, you would understand the graph that would represent that what is the kind of a searches which are there where the people have been looking and typing that particular word, and they're searching for that. That also is one way to understand what is the demand. Are the people looking forward for the product or not? So if you really look into this particular graph, I did it for career counselor, did it for career coach, psychometric, and DMIT. Right? So if you really look at it, blue one denotes the career counselor, red one denotes the career coach, yellow one denotes the psychometric test, and green one denotes the DMIT. Well, I've been looking for career counselors, career coach, and even for that matter, they have been looking for psychometric test, and that is the highest. The psychometric test report is just not used in the career coaching industry. Also, at the same time, in the recruitment, the HR uses this to identify and to understand the aptitude of the candidate, and accordingly give him the job or reject or select the candidate. And also at the same time, some intra-departmental things, if a person is not performing very good in one department, so they move the person to another department. But prior to that, they conduct the psychometric test to understand that what are their comfort areas and what are the strength of the candidate. Basis the strength of the candidate, they try to put him into the department where they could see that the person may perform better. If you really understand that what's happening around, I think it's really alarming. 10 to 19 years of age suffer from depression. As we speak, there's one suicide attempt every 3 seconds and one death by suicide every 40 seconds by a youth. Second clip from India Today that talks about a recent survey on career option awareness among Indian students has revealed that a staggering 93% of the students aged 14 to 21 were aware of just 7 career options, though there are more than 250 different type of job options available in India. Are parents doing something wrong? The way we choose the career is, first we look at it that what is the field in which there's a lot of income. I remember at our times, computer engineering was considered to be the best. Get a job abroad and there you would be able to earn in dollars, and within short span of time you will be able to actually earn a lot of money. You would have 5 days a week and you would have money enough to travel across the world. You'll have a better lifestyle. So the entire world started moving towards it. Those who can afford to actually join in the computer engineering. In India, the way we look at the career is we look at the income part first. If you have a higher income, then comes in demand. Obviously, you have an income, but then there should be a demand also. For example, if you want to be a successful actor, there's a great income in that, but there's a very less demand because people struggle. The demand versus supply kind of a formula. But if you really talk about a computer engineering, and there was an income also, at the same time, there was a demand also. So first thing is the income. And for that thing, you should have a lot of jobs available, a lot of opportunities available. That's when the demand comes into play. So once you know, fine, there's an income, there's a demand, and third thing which comes in is the stream selection. So basis which you select the stream. And majority of the time, people selected the stream called science because it does not have a matter whether you have an interest into science or not. How would you manage to do it? It does not have a matter. What's important is you should take a science because you have to become a computer engineer. This is just an example. Then after once you selected the stream, then you will talk about an aptitude, whether you have an intelligence, whether that's your strength area or your weak area, does not have a matter, right? And it's always assumed that you would acquire the required skills. And finally, interest. It does not have a matter you have an interest or not, because at the end of it, it will pay you And we always feel that high paying jobs would keep you happy. But is that the case? That's my question. If you feel this is the wrong way to choose the career, just type wrong. When we do something in which we don't have a strength or an interest, what do we get as a result? The most common answers are stress, frustration, low self esteem, slow growth, and more. And that's the fact of life, isn't it? So, for 35 to 40 years of professional life where we work, it's about 1,16,800 hours. We do something we don't enjoy. What is your role as a career coach? Your role is to educate parents on importance of career counseling. See, there's a need that exists today. There's a shortage of career counselors. So your role is going to be to create an awareness and to educate the parents of an importance of career counseling, which could really help their child to have a better life and the stress-free life. So this is the first thing that you need to do. And the second thing is you have to counsel the parents and the students based on the scientific tool. Only if you have a scientific tool and you're doing the things right in the most scientific fashion, you're doing it just to the student. Second is you'll have to counsel the parents. So you'll have to really understand about the career counseling. You have to learn about it and you have to counsel the parents so that you can actually help the parents and the child and you can bring them from confusion stage to the clarity stage. Yeah. So what is the reward as a career coach? You'll have a stress-free profession. It's a noble profession for sure. And you will have a decent enough income. So this is what is that you can expect out of this industry. So let's understand what are the 5 steps of career coaching. The very first thing is the interest. You need to have an interest. Only if you have an interest, then you can go to the level 2. So level 1 is the first thing is the interest part of it. So maybe you may have an interest into 10 different things. Comes in the second thing is called the aptitude. You may have an interest in 10 things, but your aptitude, your strength may be there out of those 10 things only in 7 things. Now, you have an aptitude in these 7 things. Now, out of these 7 things, third thing that comes in is the personality, because your personality also has to resonate the work that you are going to do. So maybe out of the seven things in which you had a strength, your personality may only resonate into 5 things. Now you'll check is out of these 5 professions, what are the professions where it has a demand as well. So once you identify maybe out of the 5 things, you may have a demand in 3 things. So once that is identified that these are the 3 things in which there's a demand, then last thing that you see is where do you have the income, the highest income. So maybe out of that 3 things, one thing that you're able to filter out where you feel that this particular thing also has got a good income, and basis which you select the stream. So what do you think? Is this the right way or that was the right way? If you think this is the right way, I want you to comment right. Okay, so now let's understand what is intelligence. Intelligence is an ability to solve the problem. In 1983, Dr. Howard Gardner had launched the theory called multiple intelligence, and that was widely accepted today. In fact, that's the theory which has been widely accepted. And the complete idea about that theory was that he questioned that why the people who are logically intelligent and are basically having a strong mathematical thing or reasoning skill, they have a strong IQ. Why do we only consider them as intelligent? Why do not we consider the people who are intelligent into the different field? As I again repeat that intelligence is an ability to solve the problem. Now the people who are into that space of logical thing like Einstein or Newton and many people like, who are scientists, who are engineers, or, those people who have an interest and who have a reasoning ability, who have an analytical ability. If they are good in that particular thing, they're considered to be intelligent. But the people like Amitabh Bachchan, the people like Virat Kohli, the people like Mother Teresa, why are they not intelligent? There are 8 different kind of an intelligence that we have it. The first type of intelligence called the intrapersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal is like self smart. We call it a self smart. Why we call it a self smart? Because it is all about self interest, self planning, self organizing, you know, anything related to self. There are people who are very self oriented. They understand and they know what's good for them, and how should they plan their complete journey of life. And they are always interested to know about themselves, and they're always interested to plan themselves better, organize themselves better, you know. So those are the kind of a people who have a strong intrapersonal intelligence, right? Second thing is called the interpersonal intelligence. When we say interpersonal intelligence, that is about people smart. Intra was the self smart, inter is the people smart. So there are a lot of people who are really wanting to help the other people, who take care of it, like Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was interested to genuinely help the people. So the people who have a strong interpersonal skills will be a good leader, because they're the ones who are people smart, and they're able to take care of the people, and they generally take care of them. And therefore, like, these people are loved by their staff and their subordinates, right? On the contrary, the person doesn't have a very strong interpersonal skills, then the people just treat him as a boss, and may not actually like have any kind of a emotional attachment with their bosses. So that's the way it works. Third thing is the mathematical intelligence. The mathematical intelligence is primarily about the logical intelligence, about the reasoning, analytics. These people can be a great scientist. These people can be a great analyticals. They can be great auditors. So they can be great accountants, for that matter. And so when you talk about mathematical intelligence, there's a certain amount of people who have got that strong, and they become a good engineer as well. And mathematical intelligence people are also called the number smart. Now, fourth is the kinesthetic intelligence. Kinesthetic intelligence people can be called as a body smart. Kinesthetic primarily means, like, the good in body movement. There are certain people who have a very natural flair to dance very well. They have a natural flair to, in performing arts, for that matter, or they could be good in painting, for that matter. So it could be yoga, it could be Zumba, it could be a dance, it could be any form of dance, it could be like, any kind of a physical activity where you can get up and just do that. It's all about the stamina. So that's about the kinesthetic ability. There's some people who are really good at it. The live example could be Virat Kohli or MS Dhoni, or these people. The fifth intelligence that we have is the linguistic, that is the verbal intelligence. Some people are very good with their words. They are able to communicate so well. They're able to engage the people. Everything they can do very comfortably. So they are very strong. Their temper, their tone, their modality, the voice modulation, everything is perfect, and they're very engaging. And you'll find there are a lot of poets, a lot of stand-up comedians, a lot of orators, for that matter. You'll find there are plenty of names, I'm sure, are coming to mind. So these people are word smart. You have a musical intelligence. That's the sixth kind of an intelligence. And musical intelligence is something which is all about, expression. It's about, music is all about an expression, right? So when you are able to identify the different tones, the lyrics, for that matter, and the tempo, for that matter. So ideas, when you talk about a music intelligence does not ever mean that the person would be good at singing, but they understand the music very well. They're able to understand the different notes. They're able to understand when you're off key. Seventh type of intelligence called the naturalist intelligence. These people have got they are called the nature smart, and they will have a natural love for animals, pets, the nature walks, and they would love to go to the jungle, all that stuff. They would have a natural flair and natural interest for all that stuff. So they have a nature stuff, and these people are very sharp in observing. Their observation is very good. Then comes in the visual, and visual is all about the 3D visualization. The first example that appears into mind is the architects, the interior designers. So their visual perception is very good. They can create a 3D image into the mind before even the things actually comes up. Therefore, there are a lot of beautiful buildings has come up, which was primarily there in the mind of an architect, where they created a blueprint and finally, the building came up. So it is like that. And so therefore, the people with a visual spatial intelligence are generally able to visualize the things better. So when it comes to fashion industry or interiors industry or architecture, they're able to do pretty well. And these people who have got a good visual spatial intelligence, they can understand the 3D very well. So while the people reverse the car and they can very comfortably do it, they've got a very strong visual intelligence. But the people who find it difficult, their visual spatial intelligence may not be very strong. So these are 8 different intelligence that you have it. So the question is that how would you come to know about the multiple intelligence? And the answer is, it is through a psychometric test. A psychometric test report that actually gives you a complete information about the multiple intelligence and many other aspects which are important for the career counseling. Okay. Now let's understand the career coaching process. The very first thing is the questionnaire, a questionnaire which has to be sent across to the student, and the student fill in that questionnaire. There are 8 multiple intelligence, as we have already discussed. So there are 80 questions. So 10 questions are dedicated to each multiple intelligence. So once that questionnaire comes to you and you get that info, what you do is you simply copy the results, and through the software, you generate a report. You generate a 18-page report. This 18-page report is the thing which will capture all the multiple intelligence and a lot of other things. And this will be the tool for you to counsel the child, right? The third step in a process is to primarily schedule a Zoom call, and on Zoom call, do the career coaching to the parents basis the report which has been generated, right? And fourth and the last is to share a feedback after once the career coaching is done, send them the report and also at the same time the feedback, and take the references. If the person is satisfied, he would definitely give few references to you, and that becomes a cycle for you, that every time that you speak and actually take 4 to 5 references, you're further able to convert one. So out of one person, if you're able to collect 4 to 5 references, some people give more also, some people might give less also, but on an average 4 to 5 references. And because you have already satisfied one customer, so when you talk to the person to whom the person has referred to, I think that's almost a kind of a 50% sales close. So when you speak to them and thereafter, like, you're able to convert them. So these are the 4 steps which are there, which are important for you to do in this business, right? So this is the career coaching process. So let me show you live how the report is generated very quickly. I'll just take you through. You're going to get it is like a software, a complete software that will generate unlimited reports for you, right? So it would be a kind of a folder on the OneDrive that I'm going to be sharing with you. And in this, like, you would have a questionnaire. This is the questionnaire which has to be sent across to the parents. So you can just, download that onto your desktop and email the questionnaire. Just draft a email template, and as and when there's a demand from the parents where you have to send them the questionnaire, this is the questionnaire that has to be sent across, where they fill it and send it back to you. You download it into a folder, and from there you do a further more thing, right? So there's a scores that you copy and then paste it into the software. So let me help you to understand how the software works for that matter. This is the software which is there, and this will be branded onto your name. So ultimately what's going to happen is, you'll have to provide us the name or the logo, whatever it is, along with your number and this thing. And so that is something where what we will do is, we will actually like incorporate that as your brand. And this is something which is going to be there. The software is made in Excel macro. And ultimately, there are 2 pages in that. One is called the taker test, if you really look at it. And second is called the reports, right? What is the questionnaire that you have received and you have downloaded? Just copy the score column part and just paste it here. And once you paste it here, these are 80 questions which are there. And once you paste it here, like, and then there's a personal information that has to be filled in. And once this personal information is also copied, so it just take not more than 2 minutes to generate one single report. So once you've copied that, because you just have to copy and paste, that's it. The moment you do that, the report is automatically being generated. There's an algorithm which is set, and due to which the report is already being generated, right? So the report is already generated. It's a 18-page report that's being generated. The cover page, as you can see, I mean, you can just give us the logo. We can plug in your logo with your email ID and your number and your website name. Or even you can go to canva.com, design the complete page, I mean, the front page, and send it to us so that we can incorporate and replace this particular page by that. So you are going to have it the white label software with your own name, right? That's the best part. And you can generate any number of reports. This is the software, and this is the kind of a report. There's a front page, and after the front page, there's a personal information which will be there. Software has already calculated the multiple intelligence. If you really look at it, it has already marked the one which are dominant. The one which are greater than 13 are marked in red, and the one which are blue are basically average, 9 to 12.99, and green one are dominant, and green one are less dominant, and less than 7 is need attention. So it will showcase the percentage also, it will color also, and at the same time there's a ranking which is giving 1, 2. In this case, the child is having a strong kinesthetic ability. That's number one. Number two that we have it here is like verbal linguistic. So, I mean, that clearly defines, so he can always go into the profession, where you have the things where you have the aptitude which is required, I mean, which is like verbal linguistic or body kinesthetic kind of a stuff, right? So, I mean, we definitely have a training in which we would be explaining, I mean, once you are a part of us, but I'm just trying to give you a very brief about it. So it will give you the ranking. It'll also tell you that 8th is naturalist, and naturalist means you have to be, it's all about the observation, which means the child is not very strong in having a observation. So you need to help him to improve the observation, because observation is required in whichever field that you get into. So you have to go into the areas where you have a strength, and if your weakness is such which might impact your career in future, you need to develop that, because you still have time to develop your weaknesses. So therefore, this is the multiple intelligence report and theory that you get it. This is the report which is generated. Then comes in the Gardner's multiple intelligence theory in the next page, where it explains what are the intelligence description. Like in this case, it talks about word and language, written and spoken, retention, interpretation and explanation of ideas and information, language, understand relationship between communication and meaning, all that stuff. So it is describing what is this intelligence. Now, next column talks about preferred learning style. If you want that the child should be able to learn fast, if you use the methodology where you help him to learn by words and language, a child would be in a better position to learn and grasp. In this case, the child's preferred learning style is words and language. So if you give him any feed accordingly, the child's learnability will be better. Third thing, it talks about typical roles, preference, and potential. What is that the child can comfortably be doing if this is the multiple intelligence which is good? A child can be a lawyer, writer, lawyer, journalist, speaker, trainer, copywriter, English teacher, poet, editor, linguist, translators, PR consultant, media consultant, TV. So all these fields, the child can really get into it, right? Fourth is related tasks, activities, or tests. If you want to improve upon linguistic, for example, if the linguistic wouldn't have been strong, rather it would have been weaker, and how's that you should, like, what should you do to basically improve upon it? So it gives you certain idea, like write a set of instruction, speak on a subject, edit a written piece of work, write a speech, commentate on an event, apply positive or negative spin to a story. I mean, this is what it is. So it talks about linguistic, logical, music, bodily kinesthetic, all the 8 intelligence, spatial, then interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalist. It talks about all of them. Next is about the McKinsey theory. See, one intelligence doesn't help you to make a career. For any career, you may require 2 to 3 intelligence. So how do you classify that? Is being very well done by the McKinsey theory. And he has actually like divided that into 3 aspects. One is you can be analytical, you can be interactive, or you can be introspective. So whichever has got the highest score, you are that type, right? In this case, if a child is having a highest score of 40.74 as an interactive, the interactive domain consists of the verbal, interpersonal, and kinesthetic intelligence. These are the intelligences that learners typically employ to express themselves and explore their environment. This is the thing, right? So the child is interactive in nature. So we also understand, apart from the multiple intelligence ranking and the strengths, we also understand that cumulatively how these affect the child. Okay. Now, next thing is called the RAS theory. Like this is more about the type of personality. It'll help us to understand whether the child is realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, or conventional. So once you identify which is the highest, in this case, he's an enterprising. Then you try to understand what is the personality type of the enterprising people. Enterprising types tend to be open, dynamic, assertive, and entrepreneurial, right? Values are risk-taking, status, and competition. This is the values of the enterprising people. Everything is written into the report. You have to just explain them. Potential aptitude is initiative, ability to lead and motivate others. Learning styles are learn by doing and by putting themselves into actions. Environment that they require to perform better is enterprising types are comfortable in competitive environments where they can take risk and move up quickly. So now you have understood the personality type also of the child. You have understood the strengths area. You have understood which are the careers in which he can fit in best. You know what are the kind of a learning styles that the child has got it, how a child can learn faster, and you have also understood about the personality type of a child. So first 3 things we were talking about: interest, which is being captured by the questionnaire; second step, aptitude, and we have actually identified the aptitude by multiple intelligence; third thing in that was the personality, and this is what has given us the personality type also, right? After this has come in, it will also have another page which will talk about the career suggestions, and it will mark by yellow that these are the best as per the multiple intelligence theory, right? So if in this case, like, it talks about singing as being the best career option, or maybe dancing being the best career option, but we feel that dancing cannot be a career option. In today's scenario, it's a lot of competition. So demand part is not there, right? So once you understand that demand part is not there, multiple intelligence mein, there is a strength that's number one right now. However, demand is not there for that particular career. You can always move to the next career option. So you can see which is, because the scores are also being given in that, right? So you can pick up another option which is still stronger, right? So then you can choose the next career option. If you really go back and look at it here, like verbal linguistic was coming to be, body kinesthetic was coming to be dominant. So a person may not be a sports person, so, or maybe a gym trainer or whatever. So if that is not the career that you want to choose, then you can go to the second one. That's the verbal linguistic. And verbal linguistic meant there could be a lot of careers which are there. And if you want to identify what are the careers which are there in the verbal linguistic, I'll just take you through. So this is the way I'll take you through. So one is like here, the report has automatically suggested that these are the best career options for you. And if you can move from one to second or third, if a person doesn't want to pursue the career into the field suggested, then you can go to the second best and third best. That's the way you move it. So this is a multiple intelligence career chart also given into the report. For example, there the verbal linguistic of the child is very good. So what he can be an attorney, comedian, communication specialist, curator, editing, editor in publishing, historian, journalist, lawyer, librarian, marketing consultant, newscaster, poet, politician, speech pathologist, talk show host, teacher, language translator, writer. So in every category of whichever the strength, whichever. So once that's being identified, which is your multiple intelligence, and accordingly, then it becomes easy to relate it to the career, right? So that's the way the career is being defined. Okay. Now, once that is there, and you want to understand that if at all, like, you're weak in logical thing and you want to improve upon it. So there are 25 ways which are being given. You can pick up either of the ways which you find and relate to. And these are things that is being given so that you can improve. If somebody would have been weak in logical or mathematical, and if you really want to improve upon the logical ability, he can play games such as Go, Clue, cards, dominoes with family and friends, learn to use an abacus, work on logic puzzles and brain teasers, carry a pocket calculator around with you to figure out math problem you are confronted with in daily life. I mean, so there are 25 ways being given for all the 8 different intelligence. And this is the 18-page report which will be generated by your own brand name, and you would be in a position to counsel or coach the child on the Zoom platform, and you can do this unlimited times with this particular software. If you're finding this interesting, I really want you to comment interesting. So the next big question that comes to the mind is that how is that you're going to be trained, because you may not have a background of career coaching for that matter. So first of all, as you've understood, it's not a rocket science, it's a pure, beautiful science. And it is with the tools you can acquire a knowledge to basically do the career coaching for the people. How will you get trained? So you will be given a lifetime access, and there's a credentials that will be giving you. It's a dashboard or learn LMS that we can call it, is something that we are going to give it to you. You can access this from your mobile or from your laptop or any of the devices for that matter. So there would be a password, there would be a credentials that will be given to you, and you can just simply log into that. You will be landing into this kind of a page. Normally what happens when the people get into the business for the first time, they find it very difficult and they don't understand. They might have the best of the product, but they don't know how to use the product. They may not know that what is the thing to be done on the social media. How do you have to create an account to collect the payment from people, and a lot of other aspects. So we have taken care of it. It's kind of a to Z. We have created a structure for you, and on a daily basis there are podcasts or a video which will help you to acquire knowledge about certain thing, and the assignments that we also give it to you. So this kind of a screen will appear, and like on the left hand side you can see that's a menu. Like first day talks about a podcast, day 2 there's a podcast, and then career coaching introduction and overview. Then it will talk about the brain lobes and multiple intelligence on day 2. Then day 2 itself, it will talk about the understanding the psychometric test report. Then on day 3 it will talk about how to generate psychometric test report. Day 4 we will be talking about a counseling, how to do counseling. There would be a process of counseling, and my live counseling would be there for you to understand the flow. And then you have the sales part of it, that how to sell, like what are the, we will be training you onto the sales. Then how to create a payment gateway to collect the payment. So there's a video to help you to understand how to do that. Then you have a 7th and 8th day, it's a communication strategy for that matter. On day 9th, you'll be talking about, we are talking about online sales strategy and the sales funnel. Day 10 is about investment back challenge. And day 11, you'll be setting up the Facebook ad campaign and Facebook ad campaign. And then day 12, Facebook campaign will be launched, and there would be a telescript where while you speak to the person, once you have got the inquiry, what is that you're going to speak to the people. So, and then 13 to 20th day, it's a money back challenge. It's primarily that you're going to get back the investment that you made into this project, though it's a meager investment, but still, so it is a complete journey. Whatever that you may require, it we are talking about each thing, everything, so that you don't get lost. So this is the kind of a dashboard which is there when you say let's get started. And you would find that there's a podcast of mine, and then you have a comment section. You can just leave a comment, and we would be able to answer you that. And if you completed this, you can mark it as completed. And once you mark it as completed, on the left hand side on the top there's a bar graph, and that would showcase that okay, you have completed 6%. Then you move to the next, and then You can do any number of modules in a single day. If you are a full-timer, you're getting into it full time, you can do more modules in single day. And sometimes you don't have a time, you are occupied, or you're taking it as a part-time, you're already engaged in somewhere. You can go as per your comfort. You don't really have to worry about that these modules or this training will go off one day. No, it's there for a life with you. Okay. So similarly, you have a day two, and again, you can really put your comments, and like further, then you can again say mark is completed. So on day four, there's another video, which talks about it. Then there's a counseling video of mine, which is a live video of counseling. So all that stuff. So this is the dashboard, and you are going to have this dashboard for a lifetime. So this is the dashboard, and through which you'll be trained. And so you have a complete system, and you can just follow, and like you can learn from that. You can leave a comment if at all you have to come back to us, and we would be in a position to answer that within 24 hours. So that's the way the complete structured mentoring system works. And you have a way to connect back with this also, so that we're able to help you out. So this is the complete system that we have it, right? All right, now's the time to make money also, because at the end of it, the product could be great, and but we are here to basically make money also, isn't it? So let's understand how by sitting at home you can really make money, and how much money practically and realistically you can make. So we are talking about something which is proven, which is not something which is an experiment. This is a proven thing. So we are just talking about the first 2 months. There are multiple ways to make money, but I want to give you and consume the information which is practically happening, and you can really do it, right? So month one, what is going to happen is, what I've done is I've divided this into 4 weeks, and I've talked about month one and month two. And I'm assuming that out of 7 days, you only work 5 days in a week. Okay. Price is something that you'll do it free, then you'll increase and give it for a peanut price, then you'll increase further. That's the way, because you're getting trained simultaneously. So that's another thing. So basis this, I've just done some basic calculation, and which is like, first week, you're not going to charge anything. And with your relatives or friends, kids, you are going to generate 5 reports, every day one report, and you are going to counsel them after you have learned, you have acquired the knowledge, right? So you have to practice before you start commercially charging the people. It's very important that you need to learn first. You need to be very confident about it, right? So you will do the career coaching first for 5 people, every day one person. So first week you'll do that to get confident, right? So this is what you're going to do it. You're not going to charge anything. Second week, you will start only charging 499 rupees. And again, within your own circle, your mobile may have a lot of contacts, the people who have the kids between the age group of 10 to 17 years. And you can just like speak to them and can simply charge 499 rupees and can do the career coaching for them, right? So third week, again, what you'll do is you'll do one career coaching per day. I'm not talking about more than that for first month. One career coaching per day that you're going to do, and you're going to charge 999 rupees. And fourth week, you are going to increase the price to 1499. And that is what you're going to stay for a few months, right? 1499 rupees is what you're going to charge from the customer for the career coaching, where 45 minutes of the career coaching is something that you're going to do. Now, every day one customer is something that will be there. So in the first month, you'll only be earning about 15,000 rupees, where 5,000 rupees will go to digital marketing to get the leads, which you're going to be converting. And you will only be making about 10,000 as a profit, right? But month two, you would be equipped enough, and now you have got the knowledge. So what you can do is, you will just keep 1499 rupees, and per day you'll be doing a counseling for 2 people. And you will have a revenue of 15,000 rupees coming to you every week. Out of it, you'll be spending 5,000 rupees into the digital marketing, and 10,000 rupees could be the profit, right? So in totality, you generate about 60,000 rupees of the total revenue. 20,000 goes to digital marketing, and 40,000 rupees remains your profit. And that's the practical thing. There are people who says that I don't want to go the Facebook route. I want to do it different way. What they do is they tie up physically with the lot of tuition centers and like tutors and like abacus centers and hobby classes, all that stuff, where there are a lot of kids who comes to them. So they have some kind of arrangement where they pay them some cut, and like they also get it. So that's another way to go about it, like, where you can just have a one-time kind of a tie-up, and and they give you the students and you get benefited out of it, and they also get benefited out of, because they also get the share. So that's another way you can go about it is, so eventually you'll have to take a route of the digital marketing, and that is where the whole business lies. Yeah. Okay, so ultimately at the end of it, I can say the profitability that you're going to make is about roughly 40,000 rupees. You can also create a lot of affiliates for yourself, and because you have a brand, you can generate report with your own this thing. You can create an affiliate and they can give you the business, and you can give them some share. Out of 1,500 rupees, maybe you can give them 500 rupees or 700 rupees, and rest of the thing can be with you. This is the additional business that's coming to you than what you are doing it. So these things always works, for that matter. Some kind of a connections always works. But yeah, to consistently do the business, I always suggest that you should be doing a business through a digital marketing, because that's wherein you would be in a position to even scale up the business, right? All right. So annually you can earn about 5 lakh rupees. For few people it could be great, for few people it could just be normal. Important is not to understand that, fine, for the investment that you are going to make today, I think if you start earning 40,000 rupees also, better than a job, where you have a comfort of your home, you have a flexibility of time, and you can still make 5 lakh rupees profit per year, right? So this is the thing, and this is what the opportunity is, what it can do for you. Now, how many interested people you need? You require about 40 customers, right? So for 40 customers, if we take it 10% as a conversion, when you speak to 400 people, then you will be in a position to convert 40. So you require 400 leads, for that matter. Where do you get these leads from? So ultimately, at the end of it, if you really look at it, the Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, there are a lot of ways you can market, but the best ways are, as of now, Facebook and Instagram. Okay. And trust me, a lot of people feel that we are not a digital marketer house, that we are going to do it. You don't have to worry about it. We have the module where we have taught you how to generate leads. So once you get the leads, it becomes easy. You understand. So once you get the leads, then from the people who are genuinely interested, and when you're speaking to 10 people, you're able to convert 1 or 2 people, I think you are already into the business. You don't really have to worry about it, right? But consistent flow of leads has to come in, and that's only possible through this digital marketing. You don't have to hire digital marketer. This much of digital marketer to generate lead is no rocket science, and you can very well learn, and we are going to teach you that, right? So this is what is the way you are going to generate business. Consistently, the leads that will come, you'll speak to them, close them, console them. That's the way the business is going to run for you. So are you the only one into this business? There are 1,000+ people who have already done that. These are the people who are already being trained, and so it is fun, where we interact, and like, so these are the kind of people who are already being trained. So it's definitely not a live training. It is there on the videos, are videos and podcasts which are already being parked onto the dashboard. But yeah, at times, when we feel like we just get connected to almost a bunch of people, and like, just to have an interaction, because it's always good to just interact with the people, so I just love doing that. So this is what it is, and we have already created the 1,000+ brands, and ultimately it's your brand that's the best part of it. So we have the business partners with us, and those business partners have actually done the career counseling for almost about 50,000 students. And isn't that amazing? We single-handedly we couldn't have done that. So therefore, we need a business partners who can make money and who can also impact lives of people.
Hi, I have been associated with Mr. Rajul Srivastava for quite a long time. Psychometric analysis test is so awesome, which I have tried on so many people. It is so accurate, and his courses are so good. And he, as a mentor, is fantastic. Anytime you ask him for any kind of advice, he is ready to give it. And he solved quite a few problems for me. And whenever I had any doubts, he cleared it. I think his course is, I think, one of the best that I have taken from among so many courses that I have taken. Rajul Srivastav is doing a fantastic job, and I'm sure everybody is going to benefit a lot from it.
Hello friends, I'm Karthik. I'm a banker by profession. And when I attended the first session, I had a few doubts and clarifications, which Rajul gladly clarified. And the best part about the first 4 days was every place he was putting the entire session from our point of view. It was not like a session, like lecture where we have to take. It was from our point of view, wherein we move from an employee to an employer mindset that was clearly taken care of. And every session had some takeaway in the sense how we start imparting it to other people. That angle was also covered. Every aspect of business that was needed, it was there. In the sense, starting from creation of your logo, company naming, domain creation, how we can host it in Bluehost, and your lead creation, how you can do the call, scripting, your Facebook ads that we needed. Everything was taken care of, including the way you start off on the first day. So end to end, it is all a complete handholding. I had lots of doubts in between, and Rajul was gladly ready to support any point in time. You will be taking up the plunge, and trust me, Rajul Srivatsava is there as our float until we start floating on from our side, right? Until we start swimming, he is there to take care of us. Trust him and then go with it. You will definitely bang on success. There is absolutely no way this cannot be a successful entrepreneurship.
So now it's your turn. I think you have enough information to decide upon it, whether this is the opportunity you'd like to take up and start making money from home within week to 10 days time. If yes, I want you to type my turn. Let's see how many people are really, really keen to take up this. How many people are really passionate to direct these students onto the right channel, right path, right career. How many people are really wanting to actually impact the lives? How many people really want to bring the parents and the student from confusion stage to the clarity stage? Time now to extend an offer for you, and I would like to tell you, when we sell the psychometric test software, we sell it for 15,000 rupees. And dashboard, we never used to give it because just used to give it a product, but then we added a dashboard which itself is worth 10,000 bucks because it's a complete mentoring system with loads of videos on it, right? So the total price for the package is 25,000 rupees, but I have already declared to you, before even you join the program, before even you enter into it, I believe in transparency, and therefore I offered you a beautiful price, a one-time price. With the special price for today that we have, it is not 25,000. In fact, we are going to offer you this for 4,999 plus GST, which will work out to be 5,900 rupees. So 49,000, so 5,900 rupees the price for today. Otherwise, post webinar, the price is going to be definitely back to 15,000 plus GST. That is going to be 17,700, right? After this webinar, we are not going to charge 5,900 from you. In fact, the charges will be 17,700 rupees. So in fact, we pre-declared the price for the reason so that, we come with a mindset that, yeah, if you like an opportunity, then you can obviously invest into it, right? Just 4,999 plus GST, that's 5,900 rupees. That's the ask, and that is what you're instantly going to get and that is what it is. And instantly you are going to get the dashboard link. Within half an hour, we are going to activate the dashboard. Within 3 hours time, you're going to get the email where we will be sharing your psychometric test software with you. And you can start using that. Once you provide us the branding, we'll brand your software and park your software there so that you can generate the report with your own brand, right? All right. So if this excites you, I think this is the time to just book, and there's a book now button. We have already launched the offer. There's a book now button. I just wanted to take a decision, just immediately book it, because there are limited slots that we have kept it for this price. Thereafter, the price would automatically move up, and in the link itself, the price is going to change. And I really mean it. So it's an opportunity where you just generate 4 reports and you have actually taken back your investment. I think that's simple, right? So if you really want to go for it, just go for it. This is the time to sign up. And so you are right now you're saving about 11,800, which is not bad at all. 11,800 for a price of 5,900 rupees. You're going to get the branded software, a complete knowledge, and you become a career coach, right? So how do you book it? You have this kind of a form which appears. You have when you press a book now button, when you click onto the book now button and this kind of a form that appears, just fill up your details and it'll take you to the next screen where it'll showcase the QR code. Simply you can just scan the QR code and pay. That's one way. Or second way is you have the other options which are coming up. So in other options you have credit card, debit card, net banking, EMI, wallets, pay later, NEFT, bank transfer. These are the options that you already have it. So you can pay by any of the options because the amount is so small, but there are people who may be interested to go for EMI. EMI is only and only into the select credit cards. That's ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Stanchart Bank, Kotak Bank, HSBC, Yes Bank, Indus Bank, RBL, and Bank of Baroda. These are the only banks on which the credit card has the EMI facility, and there's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months EMI. So if at all somebody has a challenge of the money, they can use that if they have the card. If you don't have these kind of a card, still you can just make a payment of 5,900 rupees. Bank gives you a facility of the credit card company gives you a facility of 45 days. You can pay it later, and you can earn back the investment. You can earn back the money and completely pay it off. I mean, you don't really have to take even EMI for that matter. Why do you have to really put yourself for 6 months EMI and all this stuff? You can do that as well. And I think this much confidence you would have it, right? That fine, you can make this kind of a money. If you feel like, you can't even recover back the investment, then I would not suggest you to get into it, because then business is not for you. Also, the people who would like to just pay directly for that matter, for any reason, if the payment fails for that matter, so what you can do is you can on the number that's reflecting onto the screen, that's my personal number, you can Paytm, you can Google Pay, or you can even Phone Pay. So you can pay by any ways that you're comfortable with, and and you can just make the payment, and you can make the payment through either of these 3 options also, right? The seats are extremely limited, and I think the seats are filling it fast. It's extremely important that I think you should be an action taker, you should be a decision maker, no matter whether whether you decide to join it or you decide not to join it. That's not important. Important is to take a decision. I love the people who are able to take the decision because I love walking them. I love walking with them, and that's also important trait of a businessman, that a person should be decisive. Because if you stick to one decision for a very long time, the opportunities doesn't really wait for that matter. So idea is, when the opportunity is strike to your door, and if it is something which you can afford for that matter, you have to start somewhere. So I think this is the time for you to start. Take up plans, get into it, and start your journey, right? This is what I suggest. Now, apart from that, if anybody who's got any kind of a Q&A, I would like to take up the Q&A, and so that I can just answer any of the queries that you may have it. I would really like to congratulate all the people who joined in. I tell you, this is one of the beautiful decisions that you have taken, and now I would like to congratulate you because you are a career coach, right? You're starting your journey, and within week time to 10 days time, you'll start making money, and sure that you have the mission to actually impact, at least if nothing, the life of 1,000 people this year. Not only because there's a time to celebrate, but also at the same time you're taken and you're a part of a mission where you're going to impact the lives of people. You're building up and helping the people to build up the nation. You're actually helping the parents and students as well, plus at the same time you're making money. Even if a bit of a clarity that comes to the student, I think that makes a big time. Today's offer is 4,999 plus GST, that's 5,900. And after the webinar, definitely the offer is going to be 17,700 in totality. This is the time to sign up now and just avail this beautiful package. This is the package which is extremely valuable, and it's a value for a money opportunity. It's a plug and play opportunity where you are being mentored also, and you're being given a software. Can you imagine the cost of it? I'm doing it for a different purpose. Trust me. It's not I'm selling a software or a business opportunity right now. But at the same time, I truly feel that India deserves to be guided. Indian student deserves to be, led, and they have the right to understand that what they are meant for. So I think more and more people who would join, not only they would help the student, but help themselves. So that's an idea. With this, I would take up the Q&A now. Well, now's the time. I want you to type your queries, any queries that remain unanswered. And so I would like to take up right now each query, and I would answer all the queries one by one so that you take the learned decision, right? So you can just type your query into the chat window.